Her name is Marian. Beautiful goat. Yeah. She's born February 28th, and it is it's March 4th. I'm sorry I haven't made a movie in a while. After she's done eating, I'll explain. That's a lot. One more? Okay. There you go. Her name is Marian. So, I said I haven't made a movie in a while. But we've done so much. I think this little pen I built, it'll be good enough for like four little goats, easy. You get the heater over there, so it blows in hot air into the pen, so she's not cold. But she was at the house for like 2 or 3 days. So that's her. Next bit. Yeah, so said the herd's growing. I gotta run down to the store, and then she's crying a little bit because, like I said, she was at the house. We were feeding her there, and it was warm in the house, obviously, and all that. So let me get back in the car before I. Alright, well, a lot of things have gone on since I made my last video. A lot of things. You can't really see it, but maybe if you look through those trees, maybe, I don't know, but you can see a couple of trucks. One of them is mine. That Toyota broke down. I mean, it'll be repaired this Tuesday, he said. So Mike across the street, so he works for the town, but he's a good mechanic, and he has his own garage where the truck's sitting there, and he's going to repair it. I mean, water pump, belt, everything. Just, it all went. Oh, all these things were going on, and in the past week, I was very down and out about everything. I just got that way. I don't know if anybody else does or goes through things, but my emotions got the better of me. It felt like, geez, all these things are happening. I'm not at all displeased with the fact that we bought the cab. That was a gift from my mom, who has passed away, but I had money from her, and so, we talked about it. Nothing was happening, so we decided to buy the cab, and I'm not displeased with it at all. It was a good buy. We'll just, as far as I'm concerned, for this, what we're doing, working outside all the time, it's really nice to have. But everything else happened too. Our washer and dryer, the sump, the basement filled with water. We had a disaster in the house from the sump pump breaking, and I just repaired all that so we can wash, and the water's all gone, so the sump pump is going and working right. Just that, a lot of things have to happen to the house. Truck breaking down, the mortgage has gone up. Everything just was happening in this past week, and I felt like the farm, if you watched my videos, it's just starting. Marian goes to work every day, but she spends a lot of money on this farm too, a lot of it, and she's a farm girl. She's really a farm girl, and I told her, maybe we should just stop doing this, so that we're not spending a lot of money on all this stuff, the animals, and the machinery and everything that we're having to buy. Did a little praying, and the answer came back to me: got to keep going. However it goes. Maybe we won't be getting as big as I thought right away, but we're going to just keep going and do what we can. This is it, because where am I going to go? I'm going to go back to work and then retire after a year or two. I can work on a farm I plan on doing this till I can. So I'm just going to do it. So we both have committed ourselves to this, and we have a meeting coming up with Mark on this coming Sunday. We're going to discuss things with him about what's happening on this farm. So other things are going on too. Again, the guy across the street, he raises donkeys, and he farms some of them out so that they don't have, because he doesn't have the room. And the place that he was farming them out to, I guess, he told me yesterday that a couple of them died. The people didn't take care of them, and they died.
So I'm going to suggest to him that he brings them here, and we'll do, well, a lot of farmers do that. A lot of the bigger farms, they bring their cattle to another place, they raise them, and when they're big enough, they go back to the farm. And for what he does, they get old enough and he sells them. I didn't realize, but donkeys are pretty good cash. But hey, I'll raise them for him, and that's money. So any aspect of the farm, we need to make money at, and that's just how it's going to be. So the reason I just was down on myself, I just didn't want to make a film about nothing. Although we did we had a nor'easter come through, and we got dumped on. It's starting to melt some, but it's still a lot of snow. And I guess what they're saying, this coming Wednesday or something in that area, there's supposed to be another nor'easter happening. So we'll see how that goes. But the tractor again came in handy. I actually did this driveway that night it happened, the nor'easter, and cleaned it. But that night it just was 50-mile-an-hour winds up here, and 40, 50-mile-an-hour gusts of winds, I should say. And it drifted right across, and that's why I parked back here. Still, the ground underneath is very, very soft, though. It's not frozen. It's not frozen at all. It's in the 30s, and it just won't freeze. So everything is wet. So getting the tractor out here all the time, it just makes huge ruts in the drive down here. So this driveway's got to change some too. We have to do some looking at it and how it's so that vehicles can get down in here, especially in the wintertime. Because our herd is, we're going to do this, the herd's growing, we got to get grain in here. People want to come in here, to get a goat, buy goats, whatever. It has to be so that the driveway works. So that has to be looked at this year. I've been selling potatoes, but that's not like I'm making thousands of dollars. I'm just making pennies, and it's just part of a farm, though. But it's money. It's not a lot. So I have to look at all the aspects. I touched on, the mini round baler, and how important it is to have these bales. I tell you, these people that I've talked to are really interested in buying this smaller bale, whether it's a square bale, small 50-pound, 60-pound bales, or these round bales. The baler can do anywhere from 35 to 60-pound bales, depending on where you set it. And they're the same as the square bale, except they're round and easy to handle. I can pick them up with my little Massey, bring them back to the farm. Do a lot of baling with it. It's easy collecting. That's the thing about it. Plus the bales themselves are nice. And they're fluffy inside. They're heavy, but they're not rolled like these big round balers. They use these belts, and they start a nice roll, and they keep rolling and rolling and rolling, and then the inside of it is very, very tight. And a lot of the people who aren't really getting that hay dry enough, there's a lot of mold in there. And plus these big bales are so hard to handle. Even for the, most of these guys that buy hay around here are these homesteaders. The guy across the street, donkeys, horse farms. They don't want to handle these big bales, And I get the big farms, when they're selling hay, they're not going to go out there, and they got the big round balers or those big square bales that are 900 pounds. You got to have big equipment, and then when you have the bale open, it's hard to get, you want so much for the horse. They're very clumsy, and the big round bales are clumsy, especially when you're just feeding a few. You try, because, or these guys that are using them on their farms, they have these shredders. They go into a shredding machine and they dump it out. A lot of these guys ain't going to afford all that stuff. Or you're dumping it into a big bin, or a lot of cattle around eating it. Again, these guys around here, a lot of the farms that use them, they just use them for their cattle and stuff. I bought these big round bales, but they're so awkward for us. Even the big square bales, awkward. You can't move them around, and you can move them around, but then they're not made for the small farms. They're just not. And a lot of these people buying these square bales, the smaller square bales, will buy my round bales, and that you can easily handle them with the tractors I have, easily bale them quickly. I don't have to spend thousands of dollars on a tractor, a big tractor, and again another baler. You got to get bigger equipment, bigger and bigger. It's always that. And then you're going back to the big stuff, and it's I don't want that, you know. And how I bale is my business, but the people who buy them are going to like say, "Hey man, yeah, I love these bales." However you do it, I don't care, you know. We're not doing 200 acres. We're just going to be doing. See, I got 5 over there for hay. We could be doing 10 here. We'd have enough for our goats and sell some hay. I got 4 acres over here. We could put in the hay. Yeah. So it's what I'm saying is it's less cost to run these pieces of equipment. The bales are nice. They're easy to feed. They're easy to handle. You can roll them around. I mean, the person in the barn with their horses can just take a bale and roll it all if they can't. Or you can just carry it. Easy. Grab it by the strings and just carry it like a sack. You know, the square bale's got 2 strings or wire or whatever. I get it. They're pretty cool. I get it. I baled a lot of square bales in my time, believe me. But this is just a simple way. Very simple. So again, I didn't make a movie because I just didn't feel like I was very much saying, hey man, I don't know. I didn't want to continue because it just seemed like it was all this money going away, but we've decided to stick with it. So I'm going to keep doing this and make my movies. So I hope that you keep watching. I have some better videos coming up soon. You know, it's getting to be close to spring. We got a lot of things that are have to happen on this farm. From the construction of the barn still, all the planting, everything's coming. It's coming real soon now. So anyway, I hope you keep watching and subscribe to my channel. A lot of cool things are happening. I'll see you around.